I was in Isla Mujeres over the weekend, and it really got me to reflect just how far I've come and how much freedom I've gained since my divorce. When I got divorced 8 years ago, I was feeling stuck and hopeless. I never would have dreamt that I'd be spending the weekend with a friend, celebrating his wedding, going on an adventure, and meeting new people. Hey guys, Johnny here, and in today's video, I'm gonna break down my weekend in Isla Mujeres by showing you my field report. I like to try to write these every day because they help me remember what I did well, things that I can improve on. And this one in particular just kind of reminded me just how far I've actually come since my divorce. So we'll go into the field report. I'm not gonna read it word for word or anything like that. I'll just go over what happened throughout the day, throw some clips in there. I do have an unedited version, which you can check out in the Stan store if you guys are ever interested, because I can't go over a lot according to ChatGPT. YouTube said, I guess, I don't want to get canceled on YouTube. So if you want the unedited version, you can click that link, but we can dive into it. As you can see, in the beginning, I woke up late on Friday. I can't tell you why. They say I should just say, woke up later than planned and had to rush to the gym. So had to run to the gym, met up with Rowan. He was getting married today. So he met a girl last year. They really hit it off. They were getting married today. And I was very happy that I could be there to celebrate with them. He's coming from a place of abundance. So he's very excited to be with this girl. As I mentioned in a previous video, I didn't know where I stood on it with marriage in general, but he's very happy. He made a choice out of abundance and he knows it's going to work. And I was just glad to celebrate with them. So started the day running a little bit late, met up with them, and then we went to the municipal, got to Isla Mujeres in the afternoon, took the ferry over there, and then we rented some golf carts and we're cruising the island. And it was already just a fun trip. Like just getting away with friends is not something that I ever did when I was married. I didn't really have friends. We didn't get away anywhere. Weekends were pretty standard of playing video games or going to a craft store or basically just staying in small town Wisconsin, staying together, doing these things. So just being able to get away to a tropical island on a beach, like I never thought this was possible. So this is how Friday started. Got to the wedding, got to the island, and then Friday night, scroll here. Friday night, I saw let's see what I can say here. I did my daily approach streak, and that night it was fun and lighthearted interaction before dinner. So I did my approach like I've been doing every day for 90 days. I'm on day 39 now. I can't really go much into it. I hit it off with this girl right away. She was walking by herself, and I knew that I had to get my approach done, so I just went in right away. Wanted to make sure I got it because being in Isla Mujeres, I'm not sure when the next time I'm going to see, a cute girl who's not with a crowd or something. So made sure to go in. We hit it off, got her number, texted her later, and yeah, everything. I'll go over that, I guess, later. But excuse me. Then we went to dinner at the Stingray, which is a cool little bar in Isla Mujeres. If you guys ever are looking for a place to check out, got a good dinner. Show some clips here of that. Then they did karaoke starting at 9, and no one wanted to sign up at all. They kept announcing like who's going to be the first one to do karaoke. And I don't have a problem doing karaoke sober. Like I've been doing that for a while. Like that's come a long way from where I was. I used to have to be super drunk to do that, which I think might be typical. But now I'm to the point where I don't really care. But I didn't want to be the first one to do it either. I wanted to have somebody else go up. I did get it started. It was fun. I sang Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi because everybody knows that song anywhere you go around the world. So I got up on stage, sang that. Some people were cheering. A lot of people were just staring blankly because it's still pretty early. People aren't drunk yet. So it was, it was fun, but you also feel uncomfortable. But just doing it sober is a big step. So I did the karaoke. Then we drove home through the rain in the golf cart. That was a fun adventure. We're getting splashed. We're driving through puddles. Just something that you just take for granted. Like it's just something small, but just driving in a golf cart through the rain on an island you're not familiar with. It's just super fun. It's not something that I ever really expected to happen. It's not something that I thought would be part of my reality when I was going through divorce. It's just, okay. So very interesting how that, I don't know, it just came about. It was just awesome. Once we came home, I did get a YouTube video. I was saying I was going to make a video every day for 30 days, and I ended up having some dates on the island, so I didn't stick to that, and then I got in my head, and I felt a lot of resistance. I felt resistance to making this video, trying that perfectionist bullshit of it's got to be good. People aren't going to watch this. What if somebody comments something? I saw some comments before saying they didn't like the video, and I get that in my head, but it's like, well, you go make a fucking video then, man. I got in my head a little bit, so I'm trying to get back in there, using this as momentum. But yeah, made that video, didn't get a lot of sleep, woke up, and then I met Rowan for Saturday. So now we're on Saturday. I'll see what I can tell you about Saturday. All right, I can tell you about Saturday. Rowan and I met up in the morning. He went for a walk. I slept in a little bit late. I was waiting for him to make some noise so I could hear when he was awake. But we ended up meeting up, and then him and his wife got into an argument while we were at the gym. So that kind of started the morning off a little rough. But we still got our workout in. That's still part of the non-negotiable. Every day I got to work out. It's day 39 now. So I've been at the gym every day for 39 days. Importance of non-negotiables. Yep, kept the streak going, working out, keeping the approaches, and eating healthy, meditating properly. So that was a problem. My meditation slipped a little bit, but overall, happy with the progress I'm making. So Saturday morning, continued to build on my habits. Then we went to the beach. I'll show you some clips from the beach here. Gym was good. Yeah, went to the beach. We were going to go paddle boarding, but the guy who was running the place didn't show up. So we ended up sitting in a lawn chair, and I met this girl who was sitting next to me. ChatGPT says I'm supposed to avoid saying there's a cute girl sitting next to me and blah, 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 blah. But we'll just say there's a cute girl sitting next to me. I won't go into any backstory about her. Some interesting stuff happened. I ended up hanging out with her for a few hours until she had to leave to go back to Tulum, and then we were going snorkeling. So had a very good experience with her. Very fun, very bubbly. My kind of person. I can't really show it here. ChatGPT says not to. Like I said, if you want to read about it, you can. But yeah, overall, great experience. Something that I never would have been able to do years ago because I didn't have social skills. I didn't have confidence. I would have assumed she thought I was ugly. I never would have talked to her. I would have just sat next to her and just assumed that she would not want anything to do with me. So just the fact that I could talk to her while sober during the day, hit it off, flirt with her, really just reminded me how much I've grown over the years. So that was a great interaction. And then after that, we went snorkeling. Let me get to that. Yeah, went snorkeling, had a blast there. I'll show you a bunch of clips here. Finally got to use my GoPro. I never really used it that much. I originally bought it for things like this, but when I was living in Minneapolis, it didn't happen all that often. And I didn't, I guess, really think about it that much to do while I was there. So just being in Mexico now, having this GoPro, like that reminded me just how far I've come. I was living in Wisconsin 2 years ago, starting a cleaning business. Now I'm out of Minneapolis, where I moved to after that, which I wasn't a big fan of. And now I'm back in Mexico, going to a tropical island, going snorkeling on a Saturday. Just really grateful, a lot of gratitude. Thought that was just really nice, I guess. Stuck to the healthy eating at night. I did have some fries that night. That was the first time I had like a little cheat in 30 some days, and it made me feel like shit. So got back on track, eating just basically carnivore with some rice, trying to stick to the non-negotiables, at least for 90 days. That evening then I had a date with the girl that I had met the night before. So I kind of go into that. Let's see what ChatGPT says. It says to avoid any lines mentioning specific descriptions about the date in detail. I'll just tell you, we had a date. It went very well. We met at a bar. I introduced her to Rowan and his wife, and then we talked, and then we went for a drink, went for a little walk. She, yeah, I guess I can't really say much more. There are things that I could have improved on in the interaction. It was a great date, but it didn't have the connection that I wanted. There's things that I could have improved on the date. I talk about it in the report. I can't really show it. But yeah, I guess the point of this field report is to just kind of go over how I've grown. Like, again, I never could have approached this girl during the day had I not worked on my confidence, worked on my social skills, had I not lost weight, had I not tried to improve myself pretty much, I mean, as much as I can for over the last 8 years. Consistently working on myself. You don't improve every day. I probably should be farther along than I am, but I am where I am. But I've grown a lot since the divorce. It all happened because I started to decide that I didn't want to be stuck anymore. I guess that's the message of this field report is you don't have to stay stuck. You can start taking actions to get a life that you really want. I love that I was in Isla Mujeres over the weekend. This is drastically different than what my life was like when I was married. I fucking hated being married. I didn't even like playing video games. I'd skip the cutscenes. There, half the time I don't pay attention to what's going on. You do your stupid quest and then you do something else. You finish the game. You don't get anything out of it. Like, I got all my gear from World of Warcraft from 8 years ago. What am I going to do with it now? So just living this kind of life, I mean, it's crazy what can happen if you just really see the kind of life that you want and start taking the right actions. I never would have guessed a cute girl would want to talk to me on the street 8 years ago. Never would have dreamed about it. Let's see. Saturday night, back at the house. I got back at like midnight, and there's I guess it's a Mexican party. All I could hear was some guy on a microphone yelling the whole time. It just sounded like, burr, 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 burr. And then I walked over to see what it was. And it's a bunch of Mexican families with beer bottles on their table, watching like two people dance in front, and then they would like rotate out. It was the weirdest thing. That lasted till like 4 a.m, so I barely got any sleep that night. But Sunday, woke up early. We wanted to see the sunrise, and then I'll show you some clips from Punta Norte, I believe it's called. Yeah, good little, I mean, it was great to wake up that early, to see the red sun, to see the water, to hear the waves, to see the crabs walking around, see the sun coming up over the ocean. Something that you just take for granted. And all it took was waking up at 5:30. We walked to Punta Norte. It was about a 2-mile walk. Fun exercise, get you waking up in the morning, seeing things that you never really imagined you would see. Got some good pictures. And then, so this is Sunday. Did the sunrise, went to breakfast. There's a dog named Canelo. Fed him some eggs and bacon. I love that I got to feed a dog. I haven't been around dogs for probably years now, I guess. I haven't fed a dog anything for a long time. So it's great to just have him sit next to me and feed him little treats all the time. And it were healthy stuff. Back in the day when I had a dog, I was feeding him Pizza Hut and McDonald's and just garbage food. This dog I'm giving healthy egg and bacon to. So that was great. Once I got back, what's it say? What can I share on Sunday? Okay, I have to avoid talking about what happened at the gym. Okay. Sunday, went to Chedraui. Gonna do the mastermind. And, I got my... the girl that I met from the beach was going to come over. I don't know if I can say that according to ChatGPT. She's going to come to Playa. I'll just say she's going to come to Playa. And, that's what happened. And then evening approach. I talked to my friend at the gym. I can't really talk about what. Then I did my approach for the day. Um, Girl seemed receptive, but I could have uh, done more to engage her. She said she was from Poland. The girl that I was dating in Minneapolis was from Poland. And when she said that, I just said, oh, no way. I could have just said, like, Korva, or like teased her a little bit about how Polish girls are trouble. Like, I dated a Polish girl. I could have used Korva in some way because that's a funny word. And then I went to Shedrawi. There was a girl that made eye contact with me. If you guys ever see a girl make eye contact with you, go approach her. Girls don't just look at just anybody. So I went up to her. She was with her mom. She looked kind of emo, so she reminded me of Billie Eilish. I'm not sure what I can say about this here. Oh, ChatGPT says I shouldn't have said any of that. I should have just said a long weekend and I got my approach in. Well, saw her at Shedrawi. She had colored hair. She looked like Billie Eilish. I'll blur out the rest. But I ended up meeting her later in the week. So approaching has been going well. Highly recommend you do it every day. Get your confidence up. Get your skill set up. It's something that everybody can do. You can find one approach to do every day. They don't have to be magnificent. You just get the reps in. So I did 2 approaches that day. I mean, I don't even think about it as much anymore. In the past, I made a video about this the other week. Like for 2 weeks, I couldn't even get somebody's name. So just continuing to build, continuing to grow. That's the whole point that I wanted to share is these are the steps that I'm taking to try to build myself up as much as I can every day. I'm not where I want to be. I know there's things that I can do. It is in my control. No one's coming to save me. If I don't put in the work to do these approaches, I'm not going to get the dating life I want. Girls are not just going to approach you. She even said, this girl that I met at Shedrawi on the date the other day, she's seen guys that she thought was cute before, and she'd make eye contact with them, but they wouldn't approach her, and she doesn't want to approach them, which is makes total sense. Girls should not approach guys. I'm not saying they should not, but they should not have to. It's your duty as a man to approach the women that you find attractive. It shows confidence, masculinity, and it shows that you go for what you want. So I guess that's my rant on that. So saw her at Shedrawi. Then Sunday night, what can I say about Sunday? Sunday, I talked to my nephews, played some Make Way, which is a racing game on the Switch. They love to play video games, so I like to do that whenever I can get some time with them. Then Rowan and I went to the spa. We did 3 rounds of the sauna and the cold plunge. This has been something that really relaxes me. They say that cold to hot or hot to cold, either way, is one of the best ways to reverse aging. So it pushes your comfort zone. It makes you healthier, makes you feel better. So highly recommend you can do that as often as possible. I mentioned here I want a life of freedom, purpose, and balance, time for meditation, gym, sauna, approaches, and dates. That's really what I focus on. I was hesitant to post any videos on this channel because I didn't know what it related to. I want them to be very good. And I watched the thing about like just branding, like just talk about the things that you like to do. Like this is all stuff I do. My daily routine is meditation, gym, sauna, approach, dates when I have them, work on YouTube, work on delivering value, work on field reports, like things that are always just trying to make me better, giving me my life a freedom, purpose, and helping people. I talked to my buddy Justin. He's also in that he's got the same kind of problem I do where he'll eat sugar and he gets triggered by it. And then he gets, he'll eat all weekend or he'll think about this every day. And every day he'll have a Snickers bar or whatever it is. And I have that same problem. And he's been inspired by the fact that Rowan and I did the 90-day challenge where it is a non-negotiable that I am not going to eat sugar. It's not a decision where I can just choose to, I'll change my mind. I'll just eat sugar today, which is why I've been stuck for years. I've never gone this long with no sugar, no pizza, nothing. I've always worked out since my divorce. I've always tried to eat sort of healthy. It's always continued to improve little by little. But it was never like the drastic, just no and just move forward, new identity kind of thing, which is why I've never been at the weight that I've wanted. And now that I've said it's a non-negotiable, I'm starting to slim up. I'm starting to feel better. I don't crave sugar anymore. I don't think about it. I do see it in like the shelves and be like, I would eat all of this, but I don't really feel a desire to eat it because I know what would happen and I don't want to feel sick. So I thought that was great to talk to him. He's doing well with his business. I love that I have these friendships now that like-minded people. This is something that I did not have while I was married. It was very much just me and my ex. And yeah, we had one married couple friend or one couple that was married that were our friends. And then I had some work friends that I never hung out with on my own or really connected with because they weren't married. So it's great just having friends who have the same things. Like they love meditation, they love gym, they love sauna, they do approaches, they go on dates, they talk about business, they're looking to improve themselves, they're trying to challenge themselves with no sugar, non-negotiables. So overall, just a fucking awesome weekend. Really just showed how far I've come. Here's some, Rowan and I did our mastermind on, well, we didn't do it Sunday. We're going to do it on the Monday. So I'll go over that. But here's some pictures. Pictures of the trip. I probably throw these out in the video anyways, so no need for that. So yeah, if you read this field report or you see this video, you're probably going to see a lot of blurs on the field report. Hopefully this breakdown just kind of shows you how far I've come, the things that can be possible when you do start taking the right steps. I do have texting breakdowns in this field report to show you how I went from talking to the girl on the street to getting on the date, if you guys are interested in that at all. I think I will leave that there. I just really wanted to show, I guess, my weekend. I wanted to throw in some cool clips for me to remember. I know I have them on like my photos reel, but I never actually watched those. So having a YouTube video with the stuff is cool. I think it really does show how far I've come from the fat kid who would just play video games like literally the entire weekend. I would wake up at 4 a.m. to play video games before my wife woke up. I'd play from 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. And then I knew if I slept, I could sleep from 8 a.m. till maybe 10 a.m. when she actually woke up. So I could get that 2 hours of sleep. And then we would go do our errands or whatever for the day. Both not really that happy, kind of trapped in the relationship, miserable. Then I'd come home and want to play video games immediately. Hey, do you want to go call your mom so I can play video games all day? Oh, perfect. Yes, I'm so happy. And then I would play video games all night. And I don't have a problem with video games. I know for me, it was just a distraction. I knew that half the time I didn't enjoy it. I just wanted a distraction away from my life that I was not happy with. So this really just showed that, in my 40s, I'm actually living a life that I truly enjoy. I'm very grateful for. I have good quality friends. My confidence has never been higher. My masculinity is always improving. I'm able to give girls a good experience. Just very far along from where I used to be. I'll say that. I'll close it here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Like I said, if you want to read any of these field reports, you can use that Stan store. I'm going to make more videos along with it. You can look at their field report. I'll have texting breakdowns in there. I'll actually post this video in there. I'm going to go over the texting breakdown a little bit. And yeah, we'll do that. Until next time, I hope you guys have a good day. Look for more videos coming soon. I'm going to be posting a lot more often. Like I said, I was going to do 30 days in a row. Got discouraged a little bit, so I'm back on track. This is the start of it. Let's go.